Welcome to my reunion Let's Play. I'm the Baron, and we're going to get started in one of my favorite games of ever. So we get a chance to choose our hero. For those of you just joining us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the link to the intro video that somebody else posted in higher quality, because I don't have sound, so I don't get the voiceover. I thought about doing one in my own voice, using an announcer voice of some kind, but I haven't done that yet. So Reunion, great game, an old game. I absolutely love it for several reasons, including part of the intro video. My big thing is I'm a massive fan of this game because of the steep learning curve. I stuck with this game. We didn't have the I had the original disc, which is where I pulled this from, which is why I don't have proper sound. Yeah, right from the start I tried to do it, and every time I failed, you'd go back and try again, trying to figure out what quirk you needed to pass to the next level. And it's a big effort if you don't know anything about it. So I'm going to do a Let's Play video to kind of play along with me as I do my thing. And then we'll do some instructional guides along the way as well for all those key points where people can get stuck. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to choose the girl hero here because she's awesome and kind of hot. Alright, so here's the interface. We've got everything. The star map, the research, space local, commanders, ship info, info by, planet main, along with our main keypad up here. So that's me. Buy things, research things, look at our ships, look at a galactic map, planet main, messages, commanders, local, main computer, and disk operation. So the first thing we need to do is look at the commanders. So all of these come in 3 tiers. There's a beginning tier, which is a basically useless iteration of each of the main classes you need. The middle guy, which if you're just starting out is probably the one you want to purchase all the way across. And then the best one, which is the one you'll eventually need. Each one has a limiting factor, something you can't build with them. So we're going to get started. For the way that I play, I go ahead and get the builder, the very best one, Mr. William Forbes, right away. Okay, he'll work for me. There's these guys, these are the cool guys, they spend all kinds of time and effort making look as cool as possible. Our researchers, etc. But right now, that's all we need. So we'll look at the planet main. So we've got our command center, buildings where people live, power stations, parks, churches, leisure centers, building plants, mines, etc. So the first thing we need is to get our mining operations at 110%. Another mine somewhere. So you want to go with mines. So all of these have descriptions, which is kind of fun to look into. It cost me $6 grand, 1,100 energy. Extracts useful ores. So that's everything but detoxin, I believe the name of it is, which becomes extremely important later. But right now we'll let all these build. We click into them and we add droids. So we only had 1 in our stock, which makes 3 active. So then we'll go up here. No, what we're going to do first is from the planet main, you can get there here or here. You can look at your forces, your spaceport, the information on the planet, and jump right to the galactic map. So we're going to look here. People like me right now. The population's growing. The higher your taxes, the slower the people grow. I did some tests trying to see what happens. The population will max out at this difficulty. Whoops, very difficult. That's the second highest. At oppression, they start to rebel really easily. So this is a good one to kind of get some extra income really quickly, and slow the growth, which prevents a lot of building requests. Because as the population gets higher, the people start requesting buildings. But at the same time, when I ran the test on normal, the population grew faster, which required me to build more buildings, but you end up getting more tax revenue. So I like kind of riding the middle so it continues growing. Amnesty 3, fantastic. So sit at high so I get a little extra income, but the population still grows. So the next stage, we require some smart people. So this guy, the middle guy, Thomas here, he's my favorite. I use him all the time. I don't use Gandalf over here for quite a while. This guy is all you really need for the vast majority of the beginning of the game. Eventually, though, there's this artificial intelligence score of 5. This guy can't get there. Yeah, he starts at 2 and you can't get him to 5 or higher than that. So eventually you do need to jump to this guy. Oh my god, he's got a planet named after him. Okay. Next we're going to design our miner droids first of all, which is interesting because we had some. Oh, running out of money already. So these are nice and cheap. We're only going to need 2 to start. Wait till those are done. So you can get the Galactic map from any stage. If you're in the main part of it, you jump right out to the entire universe. We'll start off nice and slow. This is my planet with our moon, Apollo. We're going to send a satellite over there. Oh, sweet. We can see it already. Good stuff. That's exactly what we need. So we'll hit the Galactic map and then there's a zoom out. And suddenly you're in the actual solar system. Sol, oddly enough. That too, see? Planet named after. It's Amnesty 3. Zeus is a fun planet. So we'll send something here to Zeus. Try and explore it. So, the next thing, while we're waiting for our information to get back. So we're at 5. 9 is the max that we can have on each planet, which is becomes important. Okay, so they cost about $3,000. To launch them, the developers started researching a vehicle. So the one that I sent, presumably to Zeus, didn't make it. That's rough. So while we're waiting for some research to happen on that guy. So with here, this is the star date, you can almost say, by year, month, day, hour, right? This goes up to 24. Yeah. Ooh, Amnesty 2. So I think I just told us our satellite carrier is done. So while that's researching though, we're gonna get some more miner droids. Yeah, $3,000 even. Apollo is ready for mining. We found some useful ores on the planet. Oh, only one more. Ooh. There you go. So as you can see, there's a requirement. Miner station's ready. Oh, of course it disappeared. There's an amount of each of these that you need at the bottom here in order to research something. Here. 2, 2, 3. So our guy's more than experienced enough to build that. So we'll let him do his work. Yeah, we only really need 5 of those. Approximately. So head back to the planet. So those mines they're the droids that we built, we can add them. So what you'll notice is this goes up slowly, and now that we max these out, these will go up. So this planet is very good at mining energon and leptium. Also good at creamier. But the toxin is lagging way behind everything else for some reason. And that reason has everything to do with, where is one of them? These guys. Derek. These are the things that extract a toxin. which is, I guess, the oil equivalent in this game. Oh right, they cost 7 grand. So, the strategy I typically use is you're going to need a lot of these. This planet is good at mining these. And there's only key planets that actually are able to mine it. But we won't go any further because I don't have nearly enough for a power station, and eventually you need one. So got one of those. Alright, these are really expensive. Yeah, I need the toxin. That's usually your first indicator that something's wrong. Oh yeah. So, at this point, we could build our ship, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a pilot first. If you don't have a pilot, I thought it gave you a warning. My understanding is you'll eventually get where you want to go. It just takes way longer. Anyway, now we got our pilot, builder, researcher. We don't have any fighter guys yet, but we don't even have military, so I'm not even going to worry about it. So you change the type by clicking on it. So we want a carrier. Since this is going to be our exploring one, and I'm a minor nerd, go ahead and do that. So we got 5 satellites, each one 1-to-1 ratio. These get used up, these stay the same. So eventually we'll need to restock with satellites depending on how many worlds we explore. So we'll start with Alutu. Now because I've played this before, I'm just going to go for key planets. I like exploring knowing that all the planets are there, but I'm only going to send satellites in the one that I know are good. I used to view someone named this, so I did an exploration on it one time just to check. And yeah, it's a hot volcanic world where no life can exist, so yeah, kind of reminds me a little bit of someone. So go ahead and go back out. Check Amnesty 1. Ranger. I always forget if this is one, so I'll send one here anyway. Nothing else will show a good example of a planet that's got nothing going down. Did one, that one. Ooh, Zeus. Like I said, this one's a good planet. So essentially you need to satellite each planet before you can really do anything with it. Before it becomes useful to you. So you're going to want to go out and satellite them. My recommendation for new players is to satellite basically any planet that even looks sort of habitable. Because I may miss one in my rush just to get the planets that I am aware of already are good. Perhaps there's another equally good one I'm missing. Oh, now I'm confused. I don't remember if I got the most important one or not. That's okay. Oh, I did. That's the first one I did. Mir is ready for mining. So now we know that there's a mining colony as possible on Mir, as well as our moon, if you'll remember from earlier. So the second type of ship that we'll want is a trade one. Yeah, I do a little bit of both of the major nerd groups there. So in order to get this going, we're going to need the mining, which you can only get from these derricks. So, oops, I did something wrong. Oh, explorer's not suitable for mining. So there you go. That's the warning we get if the planet's not good for us. So Penelope is ready for mining. Ithaca is too. Oh god. I should include these just for anyone who's curious. It's at the bottom of the page of the booklet that you get. I think that happens every time you don't actively have a disk in the system. So I'm doing this through a program. as opposed to using the disk because my disk drive stopped working. Ooh, found Jade. It's always a fun name. So what I like to do is on this planet, the nuclear generator is the only one that can provide power. So I like hovering around the cost, 35,000. Then anything over 35 is what I spend on the development I want. And then I don't build power plants until I get a warning that power's ran out. You know, everyone's got their own quirks on how they like to do it. That's mine. So we discovered Jade. We only have one satellite left though. Actually that's all we need. You don't have to do this. I do every time because I'm awesome. We've explored that. We'll send it right to Jade because it's big and green. That must mean it's healthy. Oh my god. Why would that happen? And then there's a little chain thing here. Yeah, it shows you that something's going down over there. So that's fun. So we'll go ahead and buy 5 more satellites. For later. Can I get some of these yet? Ooh. Yeah, so it's like 10 grand each once you've eliminated the dioxin problem. Let's see if I earned enough to get the other one I want. If memory serves, I need one more. Sweet, the laser down, there we go. So, I want to do our trade guy. So we got our sloop, the 5 mines. So all the ones that said is suitable for mining, we're going to go ahead and do this. Drop down, add a mining station. That's right. Planning to colonize, advance, move on, explore, and take over everything. So we'll do the key planets first here. Oh, that was a not enough living space. As I said, as the population grows, you're going to get those kinds of warnings. This guy's important. Mir is a key planet. I think that's all I really want. Oops. Is it 3 that I'm missing? Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm really concentrating on nothing, not this. So Explorer wasn't a planet that we could use. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump to Jade. Now you can put this off quite a while, but if you wait too long, some crazy stuff happens. So we're gonna go talk to them. Genosians, awesome. But I can't understand a word they're saying, so that's rough. But I've met them, that's the main thing. So now our scientists are gonna start working on a way to actively communicate with them. Okay, how many do I have left? Did I use 4 already? Oh crap. I'm gonna wait for this to be 20,000. There we go. Ah, the dogs. So it said not enough living space. That error will continue happening until I feel the need to fix it. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened yet already. So I got a warning that the communicator's ready. Let's do that. So, okay, I do have enough AI for this one. Oh yeah, this is where it happens. So physics is not enough. So it's going to stall at the point where he needs more of something to do it. So I've got 22 grand, and it's going to cost me way more than that to get him where I need him to go. I can't remember how much the first one is, so I'm going to just go high. You should take math and physics, good sir. 40 grand. My god, that's expensive. Head on out. So anyway, so I could be like, how's it going? I'm feeling awful. Suck it up, princess. You want some new inventions? Ooh, letting me know his control center I should be using. So while we wait for him to get back from university, we can go to the space level. So that's here or here. So there's two ways to deal with this guy. One's easy, one's difficult. You have any news that interests me? Would I like a drink? Of course not. Alright, so he just ignores you. But if you jump right to environment, would you like a drink? Alright, I'll drink that. Do you have information? He said he lives in another solar system. Mind you, he was drunk off his ass. So, that's good to know. Do you have any information? Nothing new. Seen or heard anything unusual? No, which is funny because look at these guys. How is that not unusual? So, I don't remember what main computer does. This is where we save our games, which is key, so key, to save all the time, often as possible, because what ends up happening, especially if you're playing along or playing by yourself and moving ahead or doing whatever you want to do, you will run into an issue that your very last save point, which was maybe an hour ago, isn't enough time to deal with the problem. So you need a prior save point to go back to and then just focus singularly on dealing with that problem that happened. Hoping to heaven that doesn't happen in this thing, but it may. Sure shit, it's probably going to happen to me. So I'm going to try and remember to save often. Yeah, we'll ignore that. So a lot's going on. Like I said, I like to wait. Oh, he's back from university and the control center is ready. Awesome. I need a hospital. That sucks. So I got enough money for this, which is what I was waiting for. There's lots of buildings. Like, again, you can have these open. You can look through it. Building allows the population to go. Leisure center, stadium, church. All those ones are good for keeping your people happy. I did a test. Having more of these does help the population grow a little bit quicker, it seems. I should probably run it again just to verify that, because I don't quite remember if I ended up thinking that it wasn't worth it or not. I can't remember, but buildings definitely help your population grow faster, so you'll see I'll be focusing on that most of the game. Oh shit. Oh right. Oh my god. Those guys. We can finally decode your transmission. Tell us your purpose. We're developing rapidly. We should work together. What do you mean? An efficient transfer chip. What can I do? Send your senior scientist. Do you accept our offer? Spoiler. Always hit OK. This transfer chip is and stays one of the best that you can afford. So anyway, you see he disappears. He's going to go help them do their research. So I built this guy. Generally, I don't have to wait for this amount to get to 35 again, because it'll be a while before I'll need another one. Excellent training capabilities. Oh, it's just awesome news. Anyway, I'm going to let it do that anyway. So, this is key right now. So we're going to build lots of these. What? Oh, I didn't do it yet. So hospital, food, and buildings where people live are the ones that you'll commonly get requests from the population for. And then as the population gets larger, they'll start requesting more and more expensive leisure type centers. So what's handy about this is if I do build too many buildings and the power cuts out, the radar station is generally the first to go until you get some pretty serious... There we go. I was waiting for that. Until you get some pretty serious leisure buildings, they're usually the first to go. Do you notice leisure and the satellite, or radar, pardon me? This is what gave me this map. So once this goes out, you realize you don't have enough power. So what'll happen is because it knocks out your leisure centers, your people, theoretically, will become very angry at the fact that you're not providing them power. Much like today. Incoming message from the New Oceans. Perfect. What's shaking, buddy? Proposition that may interest me. Very strange device. A modest fee. What is the price? 16,000 credits. Yes. So, you don't have to do this part. I think you pick it up You can pick it up later for free, and if you hit the right, when you talk to them properly, they cut the price, I heard. I think I remember that happening. I don't do that because it's ballsy and money grows on trees. What do I care? Or grows out of heavily taxed population centers. So anyway, we got a lot of derricks, so I'm going to ignore that for a while. As I mentioned before, what I seem to have locked into my memory is that building lots of buildings is more key in getting your population up fast. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because the bigger your population base, the more money you make. Okay, so they're starting to starve. That's rough. So right around this point, your population's getting high enough that they're going to start demanding something very expensive. So I'm going to preempt that, because generally what happens is I'm in the middle of a building and it says, oh, you need this building, and they're really expensive. So the first step you need to get that building, which I'll say later, is the vehicle plant. So go ahead and build that. And it requires a lot of power. Oh, shit. So there's rebellious forces on Amnesty. That's unfortunate. So that's a function of the fact that my taxes are really high and I'm not providing them any buildings. So I can do this. If you find yourself and you have no way of fixing the problem quickly, just lower the taxes down to almost nothing. Yes, you see I'm growing about 200 a month, which isn't too bad. So the vehicle plant, and then I'm going to preemptively make them super happy by getting a stadium. Which, at 36 grand, these two buildings is what you require in order to, like, once they start demanding a stadium. And if you're sitting at an almost nothing and they start demanding it, they'll become rebellious long before you'll be able to build it. So much nicer to go ahead and... oh god. 269, yeah, that's about right. So anyway, at certain star dates, things happen. Like I said, you can delay this, I think, but I think this message, this SOS, happens at the same time every game, more or less. So the Mongrals are planning an attack against you. Can I help you? Oh man. We've got no weapons, buddy. Detailed plans of a fighter ship. We'll do our best to help. Thank you for your help. Generally, it's a good idea to save at this point. Go ahead and save over this stuff because that one didn't work. So, we don't know what this is. This is the thing we bought from them. Trade ship that they gave us. Hunters and laser cannons. So let's buy some hunters. Uranium, okay. So this is usually the first part, or the first part that I got stuck on when I was playing. So the problem here is uranium isn't something that I've got on my planet. But, as per those mining stations I set up basically everywhere, it does exist on some of the other planets. So while that's traveling, lots of trade ships make... here, well, you'll see. So what I can do is go to the planet at school. It changes based on the planet type you're on. And transfer minerals from this guy to us. So I have a limit of 2,500 because I only have 5 ships. Which is pathetic, but it's enough to build a couple ships, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and... oh. Oop. So we want to get all that radium back to home base. But while we're waiting, we can use that 2,500 we got. Don't have the money. I'm curious how much 2,500 buys us. We can look here and it'll tell us. uranium. Okay, 78, so that's actually, it'll get me lots. I just have crippling money problems. So, the laser cannon attached to the spaceship and shoots a powerful beam of energy. These guys, it's 2 per every hunter you build, which is the small and sleek intercept craft. For all you seasoned pros out there that are just watching for fun, I don't know if you've tried it, I sure did. You can definitely help them. Like well, for those of you this is the first time seeing this game, they ask you to help you, and generally you can't get enough out to help them. But if you're planning for this from the start, you can definitely, you can actually help them, which is pretty cool. I'm going to wait for this to be done. Okay. So 5 and 5 is all you need, basically, to get everything from all of your mining colonies, generally. Not all in one fell swoop, but like in one fell swoop you can grab everything it's got. Like just there I had just enough to get everything that Mirror had produced. In one trim. I felt like I implied that you could get like literally everything. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Like from all of your colonies, but you can if you choose to donate your resources to it, put in enough that you can get literally everything that all of them produce with one transfer ship. Which is the point we hope to get to eventually. Oh, not everything on that one. Close. Anyway, so it should probably be done now, so we'll keep building. So essentially this game is... oh god. So they attacked and destroyed the Genosians. That sucks. Oh, that's the burning city. Unpleasant. That's the thing with this game, kind of makes you watch the cutscene before you can move on. Just keep clicking, you'll eventually get past it. So Genosians, like the friendliest race ever, just got destroyed by whoever these Mongrul characters are. And we're gonna have to go ahead and deal with them. Oh! And that's your, that's a bane of your existence for the start of this game. Is these guys. There we go. Man, that was long. Okay. So this game heavily relies on firepower. You essentially need to be always building weapons, balancing your time between economy of your planets, expanding your planets, and transferring resources to build that army. Yeah. You gotta donate to, oh, and exploration is so important. So everything's running good down here, right? Yeah, so everything's pretty okay there. Did we get a message about them deploying more and more forces into this system? Yeah, so Mongruls are not just here, they're everywhere. So anyway, if you felt the need or desire to help the Genosians early, if you'd like to go back and try, this is, whoops, wrong place. So this is your planetary force, and this is your mobile force. I think I spelled that wrong. That's okay. So you can arm a ship and travel with it. So then you can travel over to their airspace and try and help them. That's the thing. It'd be a fun experiment. I gave it a shot and managed to kill the first one. And then when I went back to resupply, they died. And I didn't try again. So I think they have to die. I think that's what's supposed to happen. But if anyone's tried it, managed to like keep holding them off, that'd be pretty impressive. But I think, for those of you who played before, you'll know what I'm talking about there. There's certain in-game things that are built in that would keep it from being a realistic strategy for more than more than temporarily. Man, I need more money. Ooh, hyperspace drive. Sweet. Wait, did I build a military guy yet? Oh, shit, that could have sucked. Commanders, I've got a good pilot, so you're gonna need a military guy. Oh, right, they're really expensive. This guy costs nothing. Hire me or I'll kill you. So, that's a sales pitch if I've ever heard one. You're gonna want these guys. These guys, the middle guy, like I said before, is the one that's not totally inept. So anyway, to defend your planet, whichever planet you choose to station forces at, you'll do planet forces where I entered earlier in error. So as you can see, I can't add any more. These ones you just left click. Oh, I kept going up here but not actually doing it. So this is your time scale one. Clicking with the left mouse button makes it go faster. Right mouse button makes it go really fast. Good idea, especially when you're starting out, not to go really fast too much. Try and manage your time effectively. But I've played this a couple times, so I'm not too concerned. Anyway, I am concerned about not having a commander in time. It's gonna cost 45 grand. Boom. Okay. So he hangs out here, and he literally does nothing except help us should we ever get attacked. So I'm going to go ahead and use the trade ship, start moving some resources around. I do have some. Basically what I'm doing right now is transporting it to my main planet, because that's where all the production facilities are. I did Penelope, so let's do Ithaca. So what we really want is uranium, but we got lots of room, so let's take everything else. So Apollo really produces a lot of uranium. That's kind of what the planet's good for. It'll produce what you need to survive all by itself, at least at the start. Those other colonies become not just important, but just what's the word I'm looking for? Absolutely fundamentally important is what I'm trying to say. You need everything eventually. So anyway, right now we're just trying to arm up our resource gap here. So eventually you'll get to a point where this stalls out and the resources you're collecting are staying on the ship because there's no room on Earth. New Earth, pardon me. So in order to prevent that problem, you need storage base. 15 grand and allow you to store extra resources. That way when you're maxed out, your mines will continue producing and going right into your storage base. Because those mass surpluses are definitely necessary. What should we do next? So we've got a lot of resources. Well, keep building ships. So they've arrived at my colony and they call themselves the Mongrul. So we saw from those early communications from the Genosians that the Mongruls are inherently evil. A warning, attack fleet's coming. So they'll wreck your day. So anyway, I armed the planetary defense. That's the only planet I've got, so obviously that's going to be the one that they're going for. In case you're wondering, by the time you see a warning you're being attacked, it's way too late to build an army up and try and defend yourself. Okay, so my colony is under attack by the Mongols. So this is the attack screen. I'm on the left, bad guys on the right, and my little controller dude's kind of taking care of business. So they lost 5. So that attack's always the same. There's always 5 hunters. And that's your gauge. If you got the middle defender guy, I believe you can win with 5 on your side versus 5 on there. Because their commander at the early start of this is quite awful. So I won. And battle. Sweet. So there's one more thing I'm going to show you before we end this first stage tutorial. We're going to use a trade federation. We're going to go to Jade. And while I was traveling, I'm going to do something else too. Reload the satellites. So we're going to send a satellite into Jade for the destroyed planet. And I've lost contact. Fascinating. Go to Russell. Russell is also a key planet. The Genosians have a colony on here. Oh, Galilee. I remember that name for some reason. Maybe this is a good one too. So you lost contact, so that's odd, on main planet Jade. And what that's about is when the Mongrals destroyed them, because it was their main planet. Well, no, that's not true. Any colony that you destroy of another race, you automatically take over the planet. So I'll leave him at Jade. So anyway, let's get back to this guy. Trade Federation. So I'm over Jade right now. So I went to land on the planet, and I found a subspace radio transmitter. This is such an important step. I can't remember what it stops you from doing, but I was playing a game where I totally forgot to pick that up. And essentially, at some point in the future, you're going to get a transmission from deep space, and if you don't have it, you're shit out of luck. I don't know if it prevents you from getting a weapon, or if it kinda... Yeah, I honestly have no idea what it was that it stopped me from getting, but I definitely... It gives you a warning that you got a subspace transmission, but you weren't able to decipher it, and that's because you don't have a subspace one. Just a fun fact of the day for all you other players out there. So anyway, we've survived that one. We've explored that planet. We figured out that there's somebody else on Jade. So this is a good place that I need to save. So generally what I do with these, this is the format I use. Let's play number 2, Mongrul 1. Because I survived the first Mongrul attack, which, as you can probably guess, implies that there'll be more, which there will be. Anyway, that's going to do it for this time. Thanks for joining the Baron, and Russell can be mined. Good stuff. Peace.